Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books. Today I am doing the kind of on the other side of the coin video that Elle tagged me in, which is books that I loved but I should have hated. And once again, some of these maybe I didn't love, but like I really liked them a lot, and maybe I didn't, I shouldn't have hated them, but like they had elements to them that normally wouldn't really work for me, or that are really hit or miss for me. First up, we have Pride by E.B. Zaboy. This is a contemporary, but it's also a Pride and Prejudice remix, reimagining. That element is something that I would think that I would enjoy, but I went into this very hesitantly. I read it from the library first because contemporary, YA contemporary especially, just often it doesn't work for me. A lot of times it just like rubs me the wrong way. And honestly, the romance parts of this book, there were parts where I was like, all right, these dumb kids, like these dumb teenagers, but like they're dumb teenagers. They're allowed to be dumb teenagers, but like as a 30-some-year-old woman reading it, it's definitely hard to connect or get invested in their little romance because you're just like, oh my God, I've been there. You're fine. But I was so surprised with the authorial voice, with the writing style of this book. E.B. Zaboy's descriptions of the neighborhood and all of that, like it was just so beautiful to me. It was just, so surprising. Loved it. And then the Amberlow dossier, the whole trilogy by Laura Elena Donnelly. I have the other two books right here. This one is like speculative fiction. It's based in a world that is very much like our world. There's no magic. There's not like a fantasy element to it, but it is a made-up world, right? It's like I said, it's very similar. It's like an Earth type place. It's not anything like that, but like the countries and stuff are all made up. Very noir, 1940s. And it's very reminiscent of like Nazi Germany things happening as far as the politics. And the reason that I'm surprised that I liked this series as much as I did is because of all of the political maneuvering and the subterfuge. It's like a lot of spy type stuff. This book honestly confused the ever-loving shit out of me. But I was like, but I liked it. And I want to know what happens. So I continued, and then it made more sense in the second book, and then it made total sense by the end of the second book, and I was like in it and everything. But yeah, normally that is not my jam, but for whatever reason it worked here. I cared about the characters, I was invested in the characters, and I think that's why it worked for me. And it just, I really cared what happened to them, and I really wanted to see what was going to happen to them. So yeah, it was just super interesting. This next one might surprise people because you're gonna be like, what the fuck, Deshauna? That's like one of your favorite books. But the elements of this would not normally like speak to me. And that is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Yeah, terrible characters. Like, not terribly written, just awful human beings. This entire book is just these garbage-ass people doing garbage-ass things. They're so toxic, they're terrible to each other, but yet they love each other so deeply. It's like supposed to be, some people say it's like their favorite romance. This should not be like your idea of a romance. It's abusive, like they're mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, manipulative, and just like fucking crazy. They're all just garbage. Like, truly. So I don't know why I love it so much. It's just entertaining as fuck to me. I just love the fact that this whole thing, it's the little old lady that was like their caretaker, their home caretaker, who is telling someone the story. And she's just like, oh, like, let me spill the tea. You don't even understand. Let me go back a couple generations ago and start. Like, and she just spills the beans on these two families and like all their business, and it's just so funny to me. The book is not like funny, but just the concept of it is so funny to me. But yeah, if you told me there's a book with like toxic, abusive romance shit happening and you wanted me to read it, especially now with my life experiences, I would probably be like, no, probably not a great idea. But yeah, this one I just love. This is one I don't own currently, but I probably will pick it up at some point. But 10 Blind Dates, and I didn't write the fucking author's name down, by Ashley Elston. Yeah, this one, again, it's a YA contemporary romance around the holidays, and it's this girl who goes through a breakup at the beginning, and her family is like, we're gonna set you up. And so she gets 10 blind dates while she's on like Christmas vacation, but set up by her family. And it's just her going on these dates. And it was the buddy read book for one of the holiday themed read-alongs, or readathons, excuse me, that I did last year. And that's really the only reason that I read it. And I quite liked it. Like, I enjoyed it quite a bit. There was a couple elements that were a little annoying or like not believable, really. Or like, that's not how that would have gone down. But it didn't like diminish my overall enjoyment. Generally, it was just like a cute, fun time. I don't know. I liked it. Like, I would watch that movie. It'd be like a cute little holiday movie. This one, especially after trying to read the sequel, it's even more surprising to me that I liked this one. And it's another young adult contemporary romance that is holiday themed. And that is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by, let's see if I can remember, David Levithan and Rachel Cohn. Haha, yes. And I have never read the book for Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, but I love that movie. Like, I don't know, it's one of those like cozy movies. It's like so cute to me, and I don't know, I just really love it. The soundtrack is really great. The characters, what are we doing? The characters are really fun and great. I just love it. And yeah, that's how I felt about this one too. Like, super cute, just a fun little time. I tried to read the sequel though and did not get far before I was like, nope, because it was using the trope of like, I'm misunderstanding how you feel about me, but instead of just asking you how you feel about me, I'm gonna assume a bunch of shit and make choices based on those assumptions. And both of them were doing that. And I was like, nope. Not reading an entire book where that's the fucking whole plot. Like, no, not doing it. But this one is just cute, fun times. I don't know, I liked it. Another young adult contemporary. Are we seeing a theme here? I don't often like these. So whenever I do find one that I like, I'm like, wait a minute. And this one is another element that I don't usually love, is like a family saga. You Bring the Distant Near by Matali Perkins. And yeah, I just typically don't care for that. I think I had picked this one for a readathon, if I remember correctly. And I was a little hesitant. And I didn't give it like 5 stars or anything, but I think I just was kind of expecting like, it's gonna be another one that I probably don't like. I might DNF. But yeah, I enjoyed the book. I think I gave it 3 stars, I wanna say. I don't really remember anything about it necessarily. I just remember being like pleasantly surprised. And the final one, another young adult contemporary autobiography by, what's their names? It's the 2 chicks. Christina Lauren. God, totally went completely out of my brain. Yeah, and this one deals with religion, that's just another thing that usually isn't gonna be my jam. I grew up very religious, and I just don't care anymore to like read about someone like grappling with it was LGBT, and it's a boy who is Mormon and grappling with his sexuality and his religion, what that means, etc. And yeah, normally that just wouldn't interest me because, like I said, I'm not religious. I don't care about religion. So I can't relate to that, you know what I mean? But it just was so cute. It was so cute. I just really liked it a lot. I don't remember like a bunch of shit about it, but I just remember feeling like it was just adorable. Yeah, kind of the like coming of age too. There's like that element to it, and a lot of times if a young adult contemporary is this like coming of age, whatever, it's hard for me to really get into it. But yeah, pleasantly surprised. That's basically all these books that That's the moral of this story, is I was pleasantly surprised with these books, and most of them being young adult contemporaries. That is all that I have for you today. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.